Alright, indeed, a good Sunday to you wherever you are getting us from. This is Vvtv, this is Venus Ventures Television, and today is actually the fourth and last day of the 2024 WRC Safari Rally happening here in Naivasha at the famous geological site that is Hell's Gate National Park. Now, what we expect today is that we are going to be having the last and final round, and most of them will be international drivers will be who will participating in what we call WRC1, and we also have Kenyan drivers who will participating in WRC2, and the most famous driver that you expect to be seeing there is driver Carl Tundo, who is actually a veteran driver of the Safari Rally. Now we are going to be giving you or rather informing you what is actually happening throughout the day. But as you can just see behind me, there are a number of choppers, meaning that we are having very high delegates, and actually Usipan. So as you can see right behind me, we have a number of choppers and helicopters. We are expecting high delegates from the government. We're also expecting government officials, and of course international members of the WRC championship, and of course a number of sponsors that will be attending right here.
13 stages down, 6 to go on the final day of Safari Rally Kenya. Thierry Neuville, Hyundai's highest placed driver in 5th, did well to save a huge moment through Malewa 1.
Oh, big moment there, that's a big moment.
Incredibly, the Belgian still took the stage win, but his luck ran out 2 stages later.
Oh, look at that rear suspension failure.
Oh no!
So rear right suspension failure for Thierry Neuville.
Oh, there it is.
That's the same one we saw with Jordan Serdaridis.
Look at the size of it!
Teammate Esa-Pekka Lappi also hit trouble. Further damage to his I-20 meant the Finn had to change a drive shaft at service. The Sweden rally winner looking forward to crossing the finish line.
Transmission finished.
Oitanek had clawed his way back into the top 10 after an early crash, but his only chance to recover significant points would come on the final day. And the Estonian's pinpoint driving allowed him to collect 7 points for being fastest over Sunday's 6 stages. Important points gained in what has been a very tough start on his return to Hyundai. Teammate Neuville was second fastest on Sunday and also claimed the power stage victory to claw back valuable points from a tricky weekend. Elvin Evans' Safari adventure had also left him gunning for Sunday points. He and Scott Martin were fast through the morning loop before losing time in the afternoon's tricky tests, ending up in 4th overall. In WRC2, Gus Greensmith was the man to beat, running 6th overall. The Briton kept Oliver Solberg at bay to secure a superb victory in his TalkSport Skoda. Greensmith, who battled illness through the weekend, relieved to make it to the finish.
I don't know what I'm more proud of, not f***ing myself on Friday or actually winning the rally. It's been a long weekend, but yeah, very, very happy. Brilliant way to start the season, and yeah, thank you to all the team. The car's been impeccable all weekend, so yeah, perfect.
Out front, the peerless Kalle Rovanperä and Jonna Haukman's 2-minute overnight lead allowed the Finns to manage the gap to their faltering rivals and take their first victory in 6 months.
This event is so tough, legendary event for Toyota. We have always been good here. Big thanks to the team. Everybody makes a big effort to make the car work so well. I think me and Jonne did a good job. I think you cannot do better Safari Rally than what we did.
Joy for their Toyota teammates Takamoto Katsuta and Aaron Johnston as well, consolidating their positions on the podium with a solid final day and equaling their best WRC finish.
It's been a very tough weekend for sure. Of course, like some point I made mistakes and got punctured, but huge thanks to the team. They prepared very well. Car was working so good.
And just behind was Adrien Fourmeau in 3rd. The Frenchman following up his first career podium in Sweden with back-to-back trophies. Ford's first rostrum in Kenya since Colin McRae in 2002.
I'm so pleased, but to be fair, I have to congratulate the team because we had no issue at all with the car all the weekend. So they have done a fantastic job. This podium, it deserves to them, so really we're happy.
So Rovanperä on top after surviving a brutal Safari Rally Kenya ahead of Katsuta and Fourmeau. Title rivals Evans and Neuville recovering 4th and 5th, with WRC2 winner Gus.
Sasa niko maeneo ya Naivasha ambapo mashindano ya magari ya WRC yanafikia tamati jioni hii. Ukiangalia hivi sasa mashabiki na pamoja na Wakenya mbalimbali wameweza kufika maeneo haya ili kuweza kushabikia wale waendeshaji magari ambao wamekuwa wakiendesha magari hayo tangu asubuhi. Mashabiki mbalimbali wameweza kufika, mashindano tumeweza kuona, viongozi mbalimbali vile vile pia wameweza kufika hapa ili kuweza kushuhudia mashindano haya. Ukiangalia mandhari haya, magari yamekuja, ndege na watu mbalimbali pia wameweza kufika hapa. Hivi sasa tunangojea matokeo ambayo yatakuwa yanatolewa muda usiokuwa mrefu, kwa sababu mashindano hivi sasa yanaelekea kuisha. Ndio yanaelekea kuisha na washindaji mbalimbali wameweza kujitokeza huku wakitakiana kila laheri, kwa sababu unajua haijakuwa ushindani rahisi sana, sababu walianza siku ya Ijumaa, siku ya Jumamosi, leo hii siku ya Jumapili itakuwa inafika tamati jioni hii.
Have a real puncture. We got the alarm but didn't really feel anything in the first instance, but sure enough it was, and it was too long to try and drag it out.
I'm pretty sure on the rough places I drive quite cleverly. All the tires, let's say, coming to service have been in quite good condition. No big hits, no big marks. So it has to be something. We go around the stones more than the others probably, or something, and that has been the plan. So it has been working well. Yeah, I think we had good notes. Also, I remember quite well, my memory is good, so I think on these kind of situations I can use it on my benefit, let's say, and yeah, the plan has been good, let's say, from the start. We haven't been stressing about going too fast when it's not needed and just keeping our pace all the time.
He's a clever kid, isn't he, Cali Rovanperä? His experience and his wisdom belies those years. It really does. He's had the most intelligent approach. We've said that from the start here. Intelligence, precision, patience. It's what it's about. Rovanperä has shown it all in bundles and fully deserves the enormous. It is Takamoto Katsuta. My goodness me, he fights and he battles and he never gives up here. And that's what he's had to do today. At one point, you know, his position on the podium was an enormous doubt. 2 punctures on the first running through Sleeping Warrior, but he fought back and we caught up with him in second place here just a little while ago.
This morning after Sleeping Warrior, it was big disappointment because I was really trying to, let's say, avoiding the problems, but obviously this one we hit a big lock and then we got double puncture, so yeah, felt very disappointed because of this mistake, but obviously most of the drivers got this puncture, so somehow it was quite lucky. Then second pass we knew that will be very tough again, so just driving through then we got another problem on the car, so it was quite demanding, very difficult, like every section we had to check everything on the display, but we managed it, so that was good.
What more can you tell us about that problem? You know, it did look like a difficult one to deal with. What was that problem?
Maybe you should ask somebody from team.
To do with the anti-lag, the car needing to be reset?
Yeah, something like that. Yes. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, tremendous effort out there today from Takamoto Katsuta and Adam Johnson. The two of them worked beautifully to work through those issues in that final stage. What about our third place? Not really had any issues. He's had a plan and he has stuck to that plan through every stage of the rally so far. That M Sport Puma, it has been faultless. Not an issue with any of the 3 M Sport Pumas, and that has allowed Adrian Formeau to stick to his plan. He's in a solid third place at the end of the day, and there's a smile on the young Frenchman's face.
Yeah, it was a good day. I'm really pleased with the day we have done. Quite really sensible on the walk he played this morning, afternoon also, and pushing when the road was more clear, so I'm quite happy with the pace we had today. The car been really good also, so I'm really pleased. So we are so tonight, it's a really good point, it was good. And he also had a puncture unfortunately for him, so it's really good for us. It's a big gap now for tomorrow. Now for sure we have been pushing the last one.
Well, not even a puncture in the final stage was able to remove that smile from the young Frenchman's face. He's shaping up to be a real challenger this year. Was in the podium place at the start of the day. Is he in 4th? I think he is in 4th. He's another one who's had to fight his way through issues, mainly issues with punctures again. When the punctures come, yeah, they can be unexpected, yes, they can be bad luck, but generally, you pick up punctures when you're pushing hard, when maybe you're taking more risks than you would like to take. Elvin has upped his performance today. He's felt for sure more comfortable in that car, more capable of producing speed in that car. He's pushed it as he's ahead of his 2 championship rivals. He's ahead of Thierry Neuville and he's ahead of Vvtv. So Saturday points, he's the one that picks up more than the others. He did say to us though, for him, it's a story of what might have been, what he could have had in terms of the differentiation between him and Thierry Neuville. But he's got to be happy with those issues to have finished in 4th place. 5th it is Thierry Neuville. I tell you what, you weren't telling us the state.
And we lost a lot of time.
An issue you've come across before?
No, not really. I don't know what they're going to analyze, but yeah, somehow we weren't capable of fixing it. We at the end were running in a safe mode in the last stage, which allows more or less 60% of performance, I would say. So we got somehow through without too much trouble. It's a shame we couldn't get that information before the stage before, because we lost 7 minutes over there. It would probably have kept us in front of Elfin. But it is what it is. We lose important points in the championship, that's for sure. But points to improve on the car. But with the current regulations, it's not possible to improve anything. And I think that's something clearly to review as well for the future. Because if you want to have a competitive championship, you need to have competitors who are fighting and being on the same level. And clearly in Kenya, since 4 years, it's not the case. So it's hard for the team to get it. to improve on the car, but with the current regulations it's not possible to improve anything, and I think that's something clearly to review as well for the future, because if you want to have a competitive championship you need to have competitors who are fighting and being on the same level, and clearly in Kenya since 4 years it's not the case. So the problem we face this weekend is not
he found himself in second place.
Conditions this weekend that he's familiar with, fast gravel, he was also really putting in the time. So he's got some great things ahead of him as well. So I think for M-Sport, times are looking really good at the moment.
Very excited times for M-Sport as they are for Taka. He got his first podium here. We know how much he suits the sort of elements of Safari Rally Kenya, and back again and back on the road.
Start to the season for Hyundai, but we knew that Toyota are too strong, and especially here going to bounce back. And again, likewise for the man that won the weekend, won the rally this weekend, Kalle Rovanperä, after a slightly frustrating start to the season in Sweden. I think that kind of gave him the boost he needed, really. We were kind of almost expecting this to come.
Yeah, he's been on cloud 9 and above actually this entire weekend, hasn't he? He's been phenomenal. To attack the stages the way that he did, particularly on Friday and Saturday, and not pick up any down, he's been phenomenal.
Yeah, I was a bit cheeky with him yesterday. I said how much of it is genius and how much of it is luck. And he sort of, I love the fact that he sort of thought, I am pretty good. He's like, he knows how he can manage it, but you have to have a little bit of luck to do the pace that he's done out there on these sort of races as well, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right. There has been an element of luck, I suppose, as well, but you've got to still find yourself in the position to make. You've got to make luck for yourself. Do you know what I mean? And that's what he's done. He's been very good at it. He got most of the work done for me on Friday. So it's a great victory for Kalle Rovanperä, a great victory for
his finish here. It was quite incredible in itself. But it's interesting as well. We've got these guys there that aren't really always competing at the top level of the championship, because obviously Robert Neuville and Evans are fighting there at the front. But what a drive it's been from Taka, because it's something about this place that he loves, right?
Yeah, I mean, he comes in with a strategy and has to stay out of trouble, and when other people have issues, he just kind of picks them off and works well at the leaderboard. But that has been his strategy previously. Yes, this year he applied the same, but he has also upped the pace a little bit over the last 24 hours, and and he's had to do that. And again, we said in commentary, for me, Takamoto Katsuta is now a regular front runner. There's no question that he has upped the mark, he's upped the pace. We saw it in Sweden. I mean, he was genuinely,
because of this wonderful starts that they've had in the WRC2 standings. So, Elfyn Evans, I mean, where do we go? Again, he was a bit frustrated with himself on the first day, couldn't quite find the balance. 3 full punches and 1 off of the rim on Saturday. What a weekend he's had, I mean, in terms of adversity.
Yeah, another man who's had an up and down weekend. The pace has been there when he's been needed. He struggled a little bit on Friday getting the car set up, and then yesterday, as he said, picked up a whole bunch of punctures, had to stop at rake at times to change a tyre, and there's an awful lot of time dropped in that as well. I think, to be honest, Elfyn will be disappointed with this afternoon's performance. He came into this afternoon trailing Wayne Tanak by just 0.3 of a second. He was absolutely in the fight to take 7 points away from Super Sunday, and he unfortunately wasn't able to do that. And then again, only taking one point in the power stage. That's where I think he's come unstuck this weekend, and that's what's allowed Thierry Neuville just to extend his lead. So this afternoon has played a big part in Elfyn Evans' weekend.
And it just goes to show as well, doesn't it? All these, the couple of seconds here, it almost equates to points now, doesn't it? If you, with the sort of Super Sunday standings and the Wall Power stage. But the Wall Power stage was strange, wasn't it? He just seemed to, what was he already when we saw him at that first split, already 4.5 seconds down. He just said couldn't get to grips with the first half of the stage.
Yeah, you're right. He got to the end of the stage and just said, I felt like I wasn't moving at all, particularly in the first half. And I think that'll be a combination. He feels better. He's had to work so hard for this win. So no, he's done a great job, and he should be delighted with his weekend.
13 stages down, 6 to go on the final day of Safari Rally Kenya. Thierry Neuville, Hyundai's highest placed driver in 5th, did well to save a huge moment through Malewa 1.
Oh, big moment there. That's a big moment.
Incredibly, the Belgian still took the stage win, but his luck ran out 2 stages later.
Oh, look at that rear suspension failure.
Oh, no.
So rear right suspension failure for Thierry Neuville.
Oh, there it is.
That's the same one we saw with Jordan Serdaridis.
Look at the size of it.
Teammate Esa Pekka Lappi also hit trouble. Further damage to his I-20 meant the Finn had to change a drive shaft at service. The Sweden rally winner looking forward to crossing the finish line.
Transmission finished.
Oitanek had clawed his way back into the top 10 after an early crash, but his only chance to recover significant points would come on the final day. And the Estonian's pinpoint driving allowed him to collect 7 points for being fastest over Sunday's 6 stages. Important points gained in what has been a very tough start on his return to Hyundai. Teammate Nerville was second fastest on Sunday and also claimed the power stage victory to claw back valuable points from a tricky weekend. Elvin Evans' Safari adventure had also left him gunning for Sunday points. He and Scott Martin were fast through the morning loop before losing time in the afternoon's tricky tests, ending up in 4th overall. In WRC2, Gus Greensmith was the man to beat, running 6th overall. The Briton kept Oliver Solberg at bay to secure a superb victory in his TalkSport Skoda. Greensmith, who battled illness through the weekend, relieved to make it to the finish.
I don't know what I'm more proud of, not f***ing myself on Friday or actually winning the rally. It's been a long weekend, but yeah, very, very happy. Brilliant way to start the season, and yeah, thank you to all the team. The car's been impeccable all weekend, so yeah, perfect.
Out front, the peerless Kalle Rovanperä and Jonna Hautman's 2-minute overnight lead allowed the Finns to manage the gap to their faltering rivals and take their first victory in 6 months.
This event is so tough. Legendary event for Toyota. We have always been good here. Big thanks to the team. Everybody makes a big effort to make the car work so well. I think me and Jonne did a good job. I think you cannot do better Safari Rally than what we did.
Joy for their Toyota teammates Takamoto Katsuta and Aaron Johnston as well, consolidating their positions on the podium with a solid final day and equaling their best WRC finish.
It's been a very tough weekend for sure. Of course, like some point I made mistakes and got punctured, but huge thanks to the team. They prepared very well. Car was working so good.
And just behind was Adrien Fourmeau in 3rd. The Frenchman following up his first career podium in Sweden with back-to-back trophies. Ford's first rostrum in Kenya since Colin McRae in 2002.
I'm so pleased, but to be fair, I have to congratulate the team because we had no issue at all with the car all the weekend. So they have done a fantastic job. This podium, it deserves to them, so really we're happy.
So Rovanperä on top after surviving a brutal Safari Rally Kenya ahead of Katsuta and Fourmeau. Title rivals Evans and Nerville recovering 4th and 5th, with WRC2 winner Gus Greensmith 6th overall.
Ladies and gentlemen, and that marks the end of the 2024 Safari Rally here at NAIVASHA National Park, which was the 4th and last day of this annual international event organized by the World Rally Championship. And following that, it has been a dusty day here in NAIVASHA, where yesterday the event was taking place in other circuits where they were muddy, but today the weather has seemed to be to favor the residents of NAIVASHA and Kenyans at large who actually made it to attend this event.
End of that morning loop on Friday morning at 2 punches. I don't know what it was. It was a lot of time lost. Let's just listen to the national anthems for a second.
And now we have the trophies for the 3rd place presented to the winner, also rather finishing 3rd, Kajetan Kajetonovic and Masic Semenyak. A round of applause for 3rd place finish in the WRC2 category. May I also ask the presence of Group CEO KCB, Paul Russo, to present the next trophy. May I also have the presence of Her Excellency once again, Governor of Nakuru, Her Excellency Susan Keheka, please join us at the podium, please. And now, to present the trophy for the winner of the FIA WRC2
Championship. Mentioned obviously Kaito Katanovic there has had back-to-back victories coming into this weekend, but Oliver Solberg, we talked about this battle. Well, we didn't actually get to see the battle, but I think we know that it's coming, don't we? It's going to be a fascinating one to watch over the next 6 or 7 months or so.
Yeah, you know, when you actually look at the stage times, there was not a lot to choose at all between Gus Greensmith and Oliver Solberg. So had Oliver not picked up those 2 punches, there's no question in my mind that these two would have been absolutely going at it, and it probably would have been, you know, who knows, you know, when you've got somebody chasing you that hard, would it have been a different story? What I really hope is that the battle in WRC2 continues, because we were talking about it in Monte Carlo and in Sweden, you know, just how exciting it is this year, and long may that continue throughout the year. You know, we've got a great fight on our hands in Rally 1, but I think in WRC2 it's going to give us lots to talk about.
Yeah, don't forget we've got the likes of Sami Pyrie, Syrian, we've obviously seen Johan Brissell, all these guys are coming back in, Greer's in as well. It's a stacked championship, isn't it?
Yeah, an awful lot of talent in the WRC2, and to be perfectly honest with you, any one of those guys can get the job done and can win rallies and win championships. And as well, I think, you know, they're the future of the WRC as well. So, you know, when you look at those guys and you think of the future, you kind of go, well, this is the future's bright for our sport.
If they're that closely matched, it's pretty impressive, isn't it? It's going to be fun to watch. And yeah, we have to say Oliver Solberg, he kind of did what the only thing he could do really, and on the back of the Sweden win after the time he lost. I mean, 7th, I think, at the end of Friday lunchtime. He couldn't have done any more than he did, basically.
No, you're absolutely right. He dropped all the way down to 7th, and you know, I was sat beside Bex in the commentary going, I can't believe it. What has this man got to do here? And then we got the message through that he'd also stopped for a second puncture later in the day, and we were like, you know, that's unbelievable. I think what's more unbelievable has been his fight back, and you and I were chatting about it in the commentary, and yes, I know he won't agree with me, but it was a real pleasure for us to witness him fighting his way back up the leaderboard. And it's just that Gus was in a league of his own. He was able to match Oliver Solberg's pace when he needed to, and he kept himself out of trouble.
It's not about Gus as well. He was almost Robin Perra-like in his calmness, considering the conditions he's going through. He never looked flustered, never looked bothered about how tough they were. He had this game plan and just still managed to... It's incredible, isn't it, how certain drivers, these stages that are so difficult, can just sort of sail through them like that.
Yeah, and a lot of it's how you look after the car and the mechanical sympathy in it, and I think Gus is very, very good at that. You know, he's able to, you know, he's actually incredibly quick on the circuit, you know, and by his own admission, you know, you could put him into qualifying on 1 lap qualifying and he'd probably stick it on the front row. What he doesn't like about circuit racing is having loads of people around him, you know, so, but that has given him his natural ability to be very, very smooth with the car, to be mechanically sympathetic with it. You know, if you look at his driving styles, minimal input with the steering wheel, he's not throwing it around, sliding it about, and if you do that on an event like Kenya, because of the natural terrain, you ultimately will pick up a puncture. So
Alright, indeed, a very good evening to you wherever you are getting us from. Now, I am here at the historic Hell's Gate National Park, where the WRC 2024 season has been happening, and right now the event has just concluded and the rally drivers have already won. Now, as predicted, Carly Rovanpera, a Finnish 21-year-old, is the winner of this year's WRC Safari Rally, and he actually is the winner with 20 points. Now, coming in second is German Thierry Neville. Thierry Neville is a German and is actually come in second. I was very close to Carly Rovanpera because he's actually having 19 points. Coming in third is Japanese Takamoto Katsuta, and he's actually again very close because it was a very tightly and a very contested safari rally, and Takamoto Katsuma actually has come third with 18 points. Coming in fourth is a Frenchman, Adrien Formax. Adrien Formax has 17 points. Fifth is Elfine Evans, was actually coming in third during the first day, but it seems that yesterday being the second day and today being the fourth day rather, is actually been very challengeful, and Elfine Evans actually has come number 5 with 16 points. Ottertank comes in number 6 with 12 points. Englishman Goose Greensmith comes in number 7 with 6 points. A very big difference between position number 6 and position number 7. Position number 8 is a Scottish guy by the name Isapeka Lapi with only 4 points. Position number 9 is a Swedish guy, Oliver Solberg, with 4 points. And coming in at position 10 is Kajetango Wies he's from the Netherlands with only 3 points. Now, unfortunately, we never saw any African making it to the top 10. But of course, owing that we have a number of Kenyans, including the legendary and the veteran Carl Tundo, who are actually participating in the WRC2. But in the main event, that is WRC1, unfortunately, we never saw any Kenyan, and we actually never saw any African. Now, unlike other events, or rather unlike last year's WRC Safari Rally, where we saw the Women Championship, and of course we saw Kenyan Maxine Wahome shining in it. This year we never saw the Women Championship, and hopefully it is going to be happening next year. Now, this event has been happening here in NAIVASHA from the year 2021. It has happened now now this is the 4th edition happening straight here in NAIVASHA, and hopefully we are going to be having another event here next year here in NAIVASHA. Reporting for Venus TV, my name is Jeff Ian. That is here Sababu na Mwamba, who is now leaving.